We just moved here from California because our state was being ruined. Anyway, we'd love for you to vote for this politician who's just like the politicians who run California.
Well, bless your heart.
Welcome. Thanks for joining me. Got a good video for you today. Comes from Sav Says. It's a man on the street interviews. Man on the street interviews are always funny because I think we all just get a kick out of seeing that somebody else is dumber than someone we know, and it at least takes the edge off. And I gotta always keep some seriousness in my videos because these people are dangerously unaware of what's going on in the world around them. So let's roll into it.
We have a big governor's race here in Texas. We have Beto O'Rourke going up against Governor Greg Abbott. Now, I'm here at UT Austin to ask Texas residents who they're going to be voting for and why. Let's go find out. Are you from here in Texas?
Yes.
Are you planning on voting at all in the 2022 midterms?
Yes.
Who do you plan on voting for?
Beto.
How come?
I love Beto. I don't know anything about politics. I'm sorry.
To be honest with you, I think she just really likes saying Beto because of her accent. So she sounds really cool when she says it. Other than that, I don't think she has a clue why Beto O'Rourke at all. But she likes saying Beto O'Rourke, just because of her accent.
Well, you're gonna vote for Beto because you like him?
Yes.
Give me one of his policies that you like the most that has led you to want to vote for him.
Oh, shoot. I'm not into politics. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know anything.
No?
Mm-mm.
How come you're not voting for Greg Abbott then?
Because a lot of my friends, it's because a lot of my friends talk about Beto and they say how great he is, and I agree with my friends' ideals. So, yeah. And they've explained it to me. I just forget.
Okay, does anybody else notice where the accent went all of a sudden? She only has it when she says Beto O'Rourke, like it's just some fancy way to say it, and she just likes saying it. And then you find out she doesn't even know why she's voting for him, but her friends can explain why. And they've told her before, and she just can't remember. Then you shouldn't vote. This is an example of don't vote. Just don't vote.
You're really excited about Beto. You want to vote for him for governor. Talk to me about why that is.
I've again, I haven't brushed up before this particular thing. I like Beto.
But you will be voting for him for governor for the 2022 midterms.
Yes, absolutely.
If you are so completely unaware that you don't know why you're voting for a person that you think that you need to freshen up on the issues or what's actually happening, but yet you're wearing a Green New Deal shirt advertising something that is financially destructive to the United States, meanwhile saying that you need to refresh up on what you're talking about and what you know about, you don't find that with voters opposing Beto. Anybody who opposes Beto knows exactly why they're voting against Beto.
So I'm an international student, so I won't particularly be voting, but if I could, I would be voting for Abbott.
So you're not going to vote because you're not from the United States and you don't think it's right. And you're about to give us the first opposition to Beto O'Rourke, and you already wouldn't vote illegally. Isn't that interesting? How a person who opposes Beto won't vote illegally, but a person who supports Beto will.
It's also that I really don't like Beto, right? He really comes off as hyperbolic, and he waits for something to go wrong, and then he goes all in on that with a super emotional spiel, which I really don't like. Like the way he did the Uvalde thing, I say, it's a tragedy. Of course, it's wrong, but you can't make everything in the state about just one thing.
Beto is the classic socialist liberal who uses emotion and props and a whole big theatrical play to make it about one issue because he doesn't know anything about the other issues, and the other issues he does know about, he has bad ideas for.
So these are basically people you're saying who believe that Bill Nye is actually a science guy and not just a buffoon created by television.
Exactly.
Right? And I definitely don't support his ideas of gun buybacks and all of that, because if you don't know, the worst mass shooting in the United States history is perpetrated by by the army against the Lakota Sioux. They went to disarm the Native Americans and massacred just hundreds of people, women, children, and all that. So you can't completely trust the government to constantly, uphold your rights, right? You have to have a way to do that.
As you can see, when a person knows what they're talking about, they don't have to freshen up on their understanding of politics or the American way of life that you so ungratefully wield and have no clue as to why your freedoms exist and why you're allowed to wear a stupid shirt that says the Green New Deal on it, while having no understanding that the Green New Deal is destructive to the American way of life. But yet this international student who's not born in America understands exactly the greatness that's been born into you in America. And he doesn't have to freshen up as to why he would oppose Beto O'Rourke.
A man's rights are found in 3 boxes. The jury box, the ballot box, and the cartridge box. So if all else fails, you have to have something, right?
I'm voting for Greg Abbott.
How come?
Well, he just has what he believes and what he's fighting for matches me a little bit more. I'm Catholic, so his beliefs match mine, very similar.
What's one of the best policies that Greg Abbott has put forth that you agree with?
Well, I came from El Paso, so I would have to say immigration and gun rights as well.
Another example of someone who opposes Beto O'Rourke and knows exactly why they're doing it. Maybe didn't articulate with the most deep answers as to why, but definitely didn't have to freshen up on what he knew about politics or what he didn't know about politics. Had a clear, firm grasp as far as why he loves his country and why he's voting.
Honestly, I'm not excited by either of them, but I am going to be voting for Beto this time.
For Beto, how come?
Yeah, it's a lot of different. It's very. Let me think about that for a little bit. I don't really have like a upfront answer for that because usually I tend to lean Republican. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm a big pothead, and I really want him to legalize weed. I am not a fan of Beto's gun policy things, and that's a huge thing that I'm worried about.
Here's the most confused person in the world. He knows exactly why he shouldn't vote for Beto O'Rourke, but because he wants to smoke pot, we don't quite understand that our freedom is so important that we can't give up our gun rights for legalization of marijuana. If we're willing to do something so stupid, then we're going to lose our gun rights and we won't be able to smoke pot. Thanks for hitting that like and subscribe button. Thanks to my subscribers. Thanks to the new subscribers. Thanks for watching. Later.